Welcome back to CF Ninjas. In the last video, we took a look at how we could start to modify the order bump on the page here, and we found that by just going into the editor itself and trying to modify it, there was not a whole lot we could do. We could change the colors, we could change a couple things, we could add in the image if we wanted it in there, but there was not really a whole lot that we could do in here. And what people were asking to do is to be able to modify the font family, the font size, the font color, all that kind of stuff. So in this video here, we're going to start taking a look at that. There's actually a couple of different techniques we can use, and we're going to look at one of them in this video. If you don't know me, my name is Dan Havey, and I am a gold certified funnel builder. And if you have any questions about the certification program inside of ClickFunnels and you want to become a funnel builder like I am, you can just send me a message, or you can look below this video and there should be a link. So what we're going to do is we're going to use something known as CSS in order to do this, and I think we're even going to use a bit of a line of JavaScript as well, but we'll see as we go along here. I did this for the first time a couple days ago, and now I'm going to recreate it for you. So the easiest way to do this is we already have our products in here, we have our descriptions in here, we have all this, and we set that up over here when we set up our products, and so then it just flows right in here after we choose them, but I showed all that in the last video. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to take a look at a couple things. So this headline right here, let's say we want to change the font family, we want to change the font size, and the font weight, let's say. So we're going to right click on this right here. We are going to inspect that element, and we're going to come down and it should land on the product or the element itself. And here we have a class of L product bump headline right there. We're going to use that class in a minute. And in fact, what I'm going to do, oops, we had a little bit of a problem there. Let's move this over. Occasionally you'll get bumped out of here. But let's just see here. We're going to grab a hold of that right there. We're going to copy it. We're going to come back over. We're going to come up here to customize. We're going to say show code. We're going to come down here. It should open on the CSS. And all we have to do is, a lot of times I'll put in a couple of lines here just to give me a little room to work. And then we're going to put in a period because that signifies that it's a class. And then we're going to paste in that class identifier right there. And we are going to then do this. So we have set up now what is known as our selector. So we selected that element that's on the page and we selected it by its class name. And now what we can do is we can come down here into the CSS on the, we're inside the Chrome Dev Tools. I don't think I've said that, so we're inside the Chrome Developer Tools, and we're going to say here, okay, well, what do we want to change? So let's say we want to change the font size. So we're just going to go font-size, and we're going to say we want it to be 32 pixels, which is going to be way, way, way too big. So let's bring this down a little bit. I'm just hitting my down arrow. Let's say we want it to be 24 pixels. Okay, that's good. That'll work out. And if you notice here, the icon appeared to change right along with it. Let's just see here. We're going to increase this. Nope, the icon did not change along with it. So if we want to change the icon, we can do that as well. But now we're going to hit our tab button and we're going to say here now, let's go font family, and it kind of auto-populates itself. And let's say we want to try the font family of Cinzel. So let me see here. Did it just populate that? Let me see. Did it change it? Yes, I do believe it did. Either way, let's say C-I-N-C-I-L. Okay, so we change it to the font family of Cinzel. I just don't trust that it's grabbing that one. So let's just look at one of them that's on here. So let's just say we want to do it to not Nudo Sans. Let's just say we want a standard cursive font. Hey, that's nice right there. So we're just going to leave it as a standard cursive font. You could, of course, type in a font family name, or even inside of ClickFunnels, you can take one of the custom font families that you put in there. It's a little more complicated, so we won't go into how to do that on this video. So we got our font family, we got our font size, and it already appears to be bold. Let's see here. We got a font weight right here, a bold, so let's not change it to bold. Let's say we want to do, let's just say we want to underline it. How's that? So let's just say we want to go text decoration of underline. There it is. It is now underlined. Now, all you have to do at this point here is you can just simply come in here and just copy this like that. There's other ways of getting it out of there, but this is the simplest way. And we'll come in and we will paste that in. And we'll line everything up just to make it nice and neat. And look, there it is showing on the page, because when you put CSS down here into the code, it will automatically show on the page. Now, in the last video, we showed that you can just come in here and you can replace your descriptive text right here if you want. So we can just click on this and we can put in a headline element, and then we can put in any text we want. So that's simple enough. You don't need any CSS, obviously, to do that. But let's do one more example here. Let's come over and let's look at our $97 right there. And we have here L product card final price. That is also a class. So let's grab a hold of that class as well. And we will come back over here to our code. We're going to go and show our code. And we're going to put in a period, paste that in. We're going to put in 2 curly brackets. And then again here, let's say, what do we want? So we're going to say we're going to do font size. Oops, I just got to type it right. Font size of 24 pixels. Always put a semicolon at the end. And then, oops, unlike what I just did, there's a semicolon right there. So now you see it got bigger. And let's do the same thing with the font family of cursive. So let me just copy that and paste it in. Now we have a font family of cursive, but you're going to see here, it's not bold. So let's make that bold, and we can go font weight. This does not auto-populate like it did when we were inside of the DevTools. So we're going to say a font weight of bold. That's not very bold. So let me see, what is greater than bold? Let's go over here and we will find out. And we lost our element again. So here we are. And we're going to say here, font weight of, let me see, well, let's just do 900. That will be fine. We don't have to use the words. We can use a number instead. Font weight of 900. So it's pretty big. Let's say we want to make it a little bit bigger for some reason. Let's just say we want to make it 32 to make it really big on the page. Okay, so now we have modified the words right here, the title of it. We modified the price. We modified the description down here. And now, what about this over here? Can we modify this element over here? Well, let's just see. First off, let's come in here. Let's go to our order bump. And we got our border colors. But is that going to affect everything? Yeah, see, that affected everything. And let's say we don't want to have everything affected by changing that border color. We just want the border color of this element and the background and the words within it changed. So again, we're going to come back over here to the live page because it's a lot easier to work in here. And then we just come down and you see we're going to be able to highlight this element again. We'll slide this over. So we got our L product card modern button. Now I have not done this one yet, so we're going to have to play around to see what we can do. But look at what this element is here. We just have the div on the outside and we have a span on the inside. So again, all we got to do really is grab a hold of that selector right there. So the class name, we're going to do this. Let's see here what we got. Put in a period, paste that in. And now what are we going to do? We're going to say, again, we're going to put in our curly brackets. I always like to do that first. And then we're going to say here, border dash color. And just for our sake here, we're just going to say red. Is it pulling it in? I can't tell, but that may not work. So let's just see here. Important. Nope, that's not liking it either. Or wait, or is that red? I guess it is red. I can barely see it. And so why don't we do this? We're going to say here, border weight of 5 pixels, just so we can see what it does. And again, we're having to put in the important tag at the end there to get that to work. Let's see, is that going to work right there? Nope, so just hang on a second. Like I've said, I've not done this one yet. Okay, I had typed in down here border weight, not border width. So I had border weight, but you see how it's white where it says border weight. So we know that that was wrong. So it had to be border width of 5 pixels. Now I would not necessarily stay there. I just wanted to see for sure that that was picking it up. So there's 1 pixel. Don't much care for that. Let's go for not 13 pixels. Let's go for 3 pixels, 3px. right there. So now we got 3 pixels on size there. Now, what else can we set in here? Let's go with our background color. And we're going to say, let's just make our background color black. So we'll do that. And again, looks like we need an important tag because it needs to override what is already on the page. Okay, we got that. Then we're going to say color. Color means what is the color of the text on the page. And I will tell you right now, this is not going to work right away. And even if I put in an important tag, it's not going, well, actually it did work. I was wrong about that. What I was thinking is it wasn't going to be able to pick it up because the color would have been set here at the level of the span, but the color of that text was actually set right here at that element. And let's see if we can see it really quick. Right here is where that is. And of course, as soon as I point at it, it disappears. Here we go, the color. And so we can see the color of the text is set to whatever that color is right there, but now we have it in this color. Now what do we want to do? Let's see if we can make that text bigger. So what we're going to do here, it says font size right there, so that should be easy enough to change. We do not at all have to go into that span, so we're going to say here now font size, really helps if I can type. That's why auto typing inside of the DevTools is so much more fun. Let's just say we want it to be 24 pixels. Again, didn't want to change, so we're going to give it the old important tag at the end. Boom, now it's bigger. And of course, we could change the padding on here if need be. So let's come over here. So we got padding of 10 on either end. I'm sorry, 10 top and bottom. You see right here in the CSS box model, 10 top and bottom, 25 on either side. If we wanted to change that, we could. We could change the margin on it. We can change, we got a max width here of 250 pixels. We could make it bigger than that in case we put in a bunch of words. You may want to make it longer than the 250 pixels that it is. So you just would set the max width right exactly where we are right now. Now let's just take a look at the span here. Let's see what's set on here. Yeah, see, there's no CSS set at the level of that span. It's all set right up here at the level of the div. So anything that is right here, you can change. Plus, then you can also add in any other CSS properties that you wanted to. Like, I don't know, I guess you could put a box shadow around it. So we could say, I wouldn't normally do this, but let's just take a look. We got a box shadow here of, let's just say 5 pixels, and solid yellow. Not solid yellow, that's not right. I'm thinking of something else. Yellow. So we got yellow there, but now let's put in some blur and some spread as well. We'll do 5 pixels each of that. And you see as I do that, it makes it bigger. And if we want it centered on the button itself, we could go like that. And then we have it there. And let's say we want to make this much, much bigger and much, much uglier. There we can go and do it like that. So let's take out that box shadow because I don't want it on the page. So here we have now made our button much bigger. We changed all the colors on it, so we've completely modified everything. We haven't touched the image or anything yet. That's going to be a future video where we're going to show how we can modify how things are lined up on the page. But there is one other thing we can do here is we want to be able to change this text. So inside of here, inside of ClickFunnels natively, on these elements now, you can come down here and you can change the text for virtually everything inside of this element. There's a lot of stuff inside of this element. You can change the text on everything except, wait, maybe you can. Maybe I'm wrong about this here because I had not seen this before. Product card bump, it says plus add. Let's just see. Why is that showing back up like that? Let's just leave the word plus in there. Okay, we are able to do this here. Okay, this is a test. Let's see. Yep. Okay, there you go. I thought we were going to have to use some JavaScript in order to do that, and we don't have to. So you can also change the word if there's a quantity in here, or you can unselect something. So that would be something if you could, take more than one of these items as an order bump, which I don't have it set up that way, but you could just do that all right here. So that's nice to know that we don't need to use any JavaScript in order to change the words on the page. But we did need some CSS in order to change these elements right here and also to change what that button looks like. So in the next video, we're going to take a look at a different way that you can come in here and modify this text here that does not even involve having to use CSS. So again, my name is Dan Havey. If you have any questions about the Funnel Builder certification program, send me a message or look for a link down below this video. Have a great day.